So now I get to do the bit of doing the GIQ demo. So as we can see here, I have got my screen open. At the login page, we have the organization code and your username and your password. All of these details will give to you as soon as we have your account online. But as you can see here, we also have the ability to link your account to UAE Pass. So if you are enrolled in the UAE Pass system, all you need to do is put that organization code in and log in via UAE Pass. So I am now going to log into this particular tenant and figure out and show you the demo. Okay, so now we're actually inside GIQ. This is what we call the exploration page. So all you see is all of the data which is currently within your tenant. Down here on the left-hand side, you can see we have just over 1,300 layers in this particular tenant. And it is a mix of vector files. We have some imagery files, satellite data files, a whole host of things. And to enable you to find your data, we have a very intuitive set of filters. But just for this particular demo, I'm going to search for my particular layer that I'm after. So I'm going to type up here the layer name and enable it, zoom right into it. And it does a fly zoom directly to that particular layer. So just as you can see, the layer is kind of mixed up with the base map. So I'm just going to change that base map over. And just like any good GIS platform here, if I open up the right-hand panel, you will see that we have a whole bunch of metadata available. Also available is the ability to see what different band rendering options you can have with the histogram. And I can even change the band ordering within this intuitive platform as well. We capture the band name. So if you want to have a false color, there's your false color. But just for the sake of this demo, I'm going to change it back so it looks a bit more natural. We also have other options just below where we have the ability to brighten and sharpen. But the real power behind this is the AI layers. So in order to do any kind of AI, what we do is we go to the detections tab just at the top here. There we go. And any AI models which have already run on the data will appear in this location. So as you can see here, it's already enabled the most recent one, which is aircraft. So we're going to go in and take a look at the aircraft detections which have been run on this particular data set. But you notice here that this particular model has generated a little error. We have a false positive available on this. So the way that our platform is intuitively enabled to help people with their AI workflows within geospatial data is through what we call the automatic model development. So within this, now you've taken your layers and all your annotations, and we've gone over to this automatic model development. We can see here we have our data set, and you can lock that data set for different versioning, so you can keep track and tabs on all this kind of information. If I now go over to the experiments, which is basically the area where the model actually gets developed, we can see that we have a bunch of different models here. All of these have been generated in a completely no-code environment. So anybody can come in and generate AI models without needing any kind of coding experience. But how do we actually get data within the platform? Well, two different methods. One is a bring your own data approach, or as I'm showing here, you can also order data from the platform. We have two innovative methods. One is you can see all of these different vendors which are available, both with archive and tasking. So you can have a whole host of options available to you. Just for the sake of this demo, we're going to take a look at what archive options are available, and we're going to go back to Zayed International Airport. So in this case, I'm going to look for Airbus data over the airport using just the default parameters and look for any data available with Airbus. So I've created my AOI and I've hit search. Now that's gone to the API and brought back all of these different data sets which are available. And you can see the pricing with credits, and I'll go over that in a bit more detail in a minute, what the pricing is for that particular thing. This data set you can see is no good. You see with the pink area within it, just about overlaps with the AOI. That's why it's been detected. But really, let's have a look for one that is overlapping. So I could just click on it, click on add it to my cart. If you are a bit more expert and you know all the different options, we give you the options available to you, so you can go ahead and confirm that. However, if you're not an expert and you don't understand the difference, say, between your Maxar and your Airbus or your SAR and your EO, well, then we have a different solution for you too, to make it as accessible as we can possibly make it. We have our brand new feature called the AI Assistant, which allows you to go through all of the different data sets through a natural language prompting. So let's just do a very quick demo of that. So here we've opened up this this interface, and now I'm just going to go ahead and type some different prompts in here. So I want high resolution data over Zayed International Airport. So let's just go ahead and type that in and search for that. And there we go. So now what's happening is the interface is actually going through and searching for all of the available data within that particular tenant. Before it does that though, it might ask a few questions, which this one absolutely will, because I didn't specify what kind of vendor. In this case, it's given me a few different options. And for this particular case, let's go with Maxar. I know there is no Maxar data in this location, so it just gives you an idea of what it will actually show for that particular case. So it's now looking for that Maxar data. Of course, it asks for the different sensors. If you know that, you can specify your sensor, or you can say you want all. Let's just have a look for Legion, the latest satellites from Maxar. Okay, so now it is searching for that data, and it will show, if you look over on the right hand side, everything has just changed. It has shown that there are all those parameters, and it's automatically searched that data for you, but didn't find any. So what can you do? Within that same natural language prompt, you can change it to, let's say, in this case, Airbus. And now let's take a look for Airbus. Oh, of course, I need to put in the which satellite I want to show as well, as it's prompted me here. And once it actually comes back with those results, it will highlight it, the changeover on the right-hand side panel there, and all the new data sets will appear on the left. There we go. So you can go ahead and order that data, and that data will be delivered to you. But then what do you do with that data once you've actually got it? Well, we anticipate that organizations will have many different use cases running concurrently. So what we have done is we have created this interface called the Workspaces. Now, all a Workspace is a thematic collection of the same data of a particular data set. In this case, you can see here we've got many different use cases that we use for our for all of our demos. So let me go ahead and just go into this agricultural use case. Where is that gone? There it is, right there. So here, this is just all of the data for this particular use case, and this is everything that I need. Now, we have a lot of different analytic tools, a lot of different processing tools available to you. As you can see here, all the documentation for this is available online through a very neat and easy interface. You can search for all the documentation. So if you need help running a particular process, you can. But one thing that we are very acutely aware of is there's no point doing all of this fantastic analytics if you can't do something with it, if you can't report those findings. So the way we do that is through the stories method. Now the stories, we have this interface where you can generate the different story points, and it becomes a little bit like an interactive PowerPoint essentially. So once you send the story to a particular person, this is exactly the interface they will see. They see the different pages that are available and all the different insights which have been generated in the order that that analyst or that user wants. And it is completely interactive. The user can't change, the consumer can't change the insights, can't change the data sets, but they can choose which page they want to see first. And as always within our platform, we try to make it as intuitive as we possibly can. So we have the ability to generate all of this technical information that's available in many different platforms. But where ours differentiates is we try to make it as accessible as we possibly can. And so our large language model will change these insights into something which is natural language and actionable. In this case, it says we need some nitrogen in this particular point of the field, water stress, kind of gives you all these kind of information to that farmer in this case. But what else can we do? But one of the other powers behind this platform is the ability to do monitoring. So in this case, let's take a look off the coast of Fajira here, and we are using a SAR dataset in this particular example. So we can constantly monitor particular areas for changes, or to monitor environmental concerns, whole host of different things. So in this particular example, I took this SAR image from ISI, and I run our ship detection model over the top. So in just a moment, there we go. You can see all the magenta squares that are available within this on this particular image. These are all ships that have been detected on this particular data set. Now, what is the point of this one? Well, now we can monitor for oil spills and try to find the source of a particular oil spill within this particular data set. So the power behind this platform just goes to show that we can do lots of monitoring powered by AI with a lot of automation. But what's the pricing? How do we actually get the pricing? Well, we do it through something called credits. Powered by the Microsoft Marketplace, we are able to generate all these kind of credits available for that particular platform. So you're only spending money for the processing and the data that you need to consume. That is one of the areas that really differentiates this product. So here we can see, if you come to the credits page within your organization, the transparent pricing for each individual transaction that you do within the platform. As you can see here, some transactions might be worth 50 dirham, some are worth 200, and this is all down to the amount of processing, and when it comes to AI models, maybe the complexity of that AI model. And we can see here that the pricing for most of it is per square kilometer and by the resolution, as this has an impact on the amount of processing that actually takes place. And as we can go through the different options, all of this information is as transparent as we can possibly make it within your organization. From there are a couple of different methods of actually gaining an account on GIQ. Firstly, there's two different methods of contact us. One underneath the login form, just down there in the corner there. Or if you go to the home page, you have the contact us right across the top. By clicking on one of these two areas, it comes to a form for us, and we can then start doing all of the processing available that we require in order to generate an account for you on GIQ. Alternatively, you can go to the Microsoft Marketplace, and that enables you to then search for GIQ and do the necessary interactions in order to generate an account from that point there. So as you can see, that was a very quick, broad brush overview of what GIQ is. There's many, many different features available within the product that I haven't touched on in this webinar, but please come and get in touch with us and find out exactly how GIQ can solve your problems and the challenges that you face. Thank you everyone for this conversation. Today, we've discussed why making GIQ available on Azure is a defining milestone for our businesses. The UAE's ambitions to be a global space leader and global customers seeking trusted, scalable, and intelligent space solutions. We invite government and industry leaders to explore GIQ on Azure and engage with us for pilots, collaborations, and strategic partnerships. We'll send a follow-up email with resources, including a link to GIQ on the Azure Marketplace and contact details if you would like to speak to our team directly. On behalf of Space 42, the UAE Space Agency, and Microsoft, thank you again for your time in today's discussion, and we look forward to building the future of geospatial intelligence solutions and continuing the conversation with you.